I don't know, I just think it's funny how so many people ride on science's cock at the same time they're dissing it. I just find that very ironic. You know, the reason why the Hodgetwins have the followers and the success that they have today is anyone with a brain would know that it's because of science, you know, the internet, you know, digital cameras, whey proteins, creatine, and things like that. And it's kind of like how um, a lot of religious, really hardcore religious people who did science day in and day out, and when they get cancer, you know, the first thing that they do instead of going to a faith doctor or pray and just be like, just let, you know, God decided this for me. Let me be. You know, I have faith, and just, you know, pray their hearts out until they die. They fucking rush to the hospital and ask for the best brain surgeon. I mean, shouldn't they be happy that they're gonna die because heaven is obviously a better place than this world? Hey guys, so I just made a BB SWAT video as to BBC, but I'll check that out first. But I want to make a video response to the hot stream videos. They're talking about protein, and somehow they're talking about science and religion, and how that they don't believe in science. Now, I'm not sure if they're serious or not. I hope they're not. But then you look at like 90% of Americans, you know, still believe that the world was made in 7 days. So you begin to wonder, you know. Now, again, I hope they're not serious, and I'm assuming they're not serious. But let's just assume for now that they are. Like attacking science like that is just, it's just not cool, man. It's just like science isn't like other branches of knowledge. I think this is the key issue. A lot of people are like making comments in the comment section how science is just as valid as any other branch of knowledge, and I just want to point out that that's bullshit because I just take religion as an example. Religion versus science, right? Who has the truth? Well, let's look at what religion has done for humans and what science have done. Religion and science, I think, are two complete different realm of experience. One of them seek after the truth. The other ones, for me at least, and how I see what happens with other people with religion is that it helps them to find comfort and meaning and even health, right? Personal fulfillment, things like that. Science doesn't give a shit about personal fulfillment. It's interested in the fucking truth, right? Science theories are proven by experiments, and they use logic, and they do test after test after test, right? And science moves forward in a linear kind of, you know, way where religion stays the same place. Like I said, religion doesn't have to move anywhere because religion isn't going after the truth, right? So religious people have been reading Bibles for 2,000 years, and I'm sure there are things in there that help people 2,000 years ago and still help people today. But let's face it, religion doesn't really go upward. And like I said, it's not its goal to quote unquote go upward, right? To, you know, advance itself. But science progresses upward. Just look at the fucking world, man. 10 years ago, we didn't have, you know, internet connection this fast. And then now we do. And then 50 years ago, we didn't have internet at all. Science works, right? And the difference between science and other branches of knowledge is that science take what they learned and then they build upon it. Newton was wrong about space and time, and Einstein corrected that. And because of this correction, we're able to create GPS, atomic bombs, and things like that, right? And Newton was wrong, but he was also right about a lot of things. He was correct enough to allow certain kind of scientific advancements and technological advancement that allowed people after him to build upon what he discovered and to correct him so that more truths can be discovered, right? So basically, without Newton, there won't be Einstein. Without Einstein, there won't be quantum mechanics, right? A lot of people are making comments in the section like, oh, the earth was said by the scientists to be flat and now it's round. Look at that, they were wrong. and therefore now science is all bullshit because a lot of science were quote unquote proven wrong now. And like, yeah, that is true, and that is exactly what science is. It keeps getting closer and closer to the truth through experiments and evidence. And new theories, better theories, replace the old one. That's how science works. It's not that science is bullshit because that's exactly why science is science. And as bodybuilders, I don't know how bodybuilders can outright reject science like that when bodybuilding is all about science. I mean, bodybuilders are getting bigger nowadays, diets are getting bigger, training programs are getting better because, there's better science. Now, one of the twins said that you shouldn't believe everything that comes out of my mouth, so you shouldn't believe everything that a science motherfucker says. Well, I got a problem with that. Well, if everything that comes out of your mouth were proven by mathematical formulas and you proved that it worked through, evidence and hard proofs, and if you gave me if you showed me that the experiments that took place to prove this thing that you said, I'm gonna believe it. I'm just gonna believe it. I'm not gonna look at logic and say this is false. I'm not gonna look at 2 + 2 = 4 and say you're wrong. And the reason why people believe in the things you guys said is because it works on you guys. You guys made progress in the weight room. You gain muscles, and if you trace back to how you gain those muscles and you break it down and write a paper or logically put out a system, and you're basically doing science. And scientists will show you the evidence and have you decide for yourself whether it's true or not. And even if you don't want to see that fact, those truths, look at the world around you. Look at the things that science had created because of the truths that they uncovered. If you refuse to believe in evolution, the evidence is out there for you to go see. If you don't want to take someone else's words for granted, if you read Richard Dawkins' books and be like, oh, this guy, he's a scientist, but, probably not everything he says is true, But then those discoveries that Richard Dawkins made weren't his inventions, right? He was just uncovering things already there. You can do it yourself as well. Go to school, study biology for 10 years, and do the experiments, pick up rocks and look at it under the microscope. And if you still refuse to believe what you're looking at, the hard evidence that are in the fossils and the DNA and things like that, then you might as well just, fucking not believe that protein gives you muscles. It's just not cool to attack science like that. You can say things like, or do whatever the fuck you want, believe in whatever the fuck you want, and it creates a following on the internet, and it's funny, and it's a cool lifestyle or attitude to have towards certain things. But, hey man, that builds a following, right? Builds subscribers on YouTube, but that's not going to build atomic bombs, right? That's not going to build the internet, or that's not going to build rocket ships.